It's preparing our live stream right now.
Awesome.
And now I'm going to admit all and you take over. I'm going to mute. Or actually, I'll introduce you.
Okay, great.
Hello, everyone. I see some familiar faces. It's good to see you. Hamis.
Hello, Gina. How are you?
How are you?
Hello,
Mohammed
Gina.
is here too. Hello, Mohammed.
Hello, Gina. Hello.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you, Miss Gina. I'm very happy to see you again and again.
Well, we're very happy that you're here. I want
Yes.
Kira is here today, as
Let
you
me
know.
welcome Kia. Hello, Kia. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good luck. I wish you great success in this meeting, inshallah.
How kind.
Fine.
Thank you.
Yes, and
Sorry for
you guys, most of you probably already watched the episode, so that you know that Kira and I met when she was my student at USC, and she has gone on to do amazing things with her master's in TESOL, and so she's going to teach us about Notion, and this is a tool that she uses a lot with her students. So I hope that you will enjoy this session, and I'm going to hand it over to Kira now, and let's learn about Notion.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having me. And it is so exciting to be here and to host this workshop. Has anyone heard of Notion before? You can raise your hand with the hand button. Where's my hand? I can raise my own hand. Has anyone ever heard of Notion before? Don't be afraid to talk to me. It's okay. Or type to me. That's also okay. No? No one's heard of Notion before, I guess. That's what the silence means. That's okay. So then, great. So you can all go, if you'd like to build with me, we can go to notion.so, and I'll drop the link here in the chat box. And I just want to get a feel for who I'm with today. What type of educational content do you make for your classroom? Feel free to either speak up or type it in the chat. Anyone? No?
Our content is from the government, sent from the government, and we teach it according to the instructions of the Ministry of Education.
Great.
Ministry of Education.
Okay. Do you ever need to make any worksheets yourself?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's choose a topic or a theme. Let me get to sharing my screen here. You can see that my document here is blank, and that's because I want to build something with you, for you, together. But let's make a little agenda, right? Okay, I can go to my slash button. Does everyone have notion.so open before I run away and start teaching? Or so we can see that we've got slash for commands, which is really nice because what I need a header of some sort, maybe something medium, so I can go to H2. Aha, medium size heading. Let's just do a brief agenda for today. If you know where your brackets are, put them together and you've got a to-do list. Okay, so I've introductions. All right, and then, oh, look at that. It's followed suit, so I don't have to type the brackets again and again. So introductions, we're gonna make educational content. What type? I'm not sure what types we're gonna make, but that's done. Strike through. We're about to do this. Okay, so we need, if I have a dash here, I can automatically make a list. And I just want to list some of the content that you create. So we've got some worksheets that we need to create. What else do we need to create for our classrooms? Anyone? I can help with that. Maybe we need to create some sort of
Hamis has written slides. They need slides.
Ah, slides. Okay, well, I can do slides prep. But this is, imagine a kind of Google Docs competitor. Notion is similar to Google Docs, but it can do so much more. And I just want to briefly get into some of the things that you use. So of course, maybe some project management. And what I mean by that, that's kind of some business term there. But who has heard of Trello? I've got one, yay. So if you don't want to use Trello and use a separate app for this and a separate app for that, you can do everything inside of Notion. So we'll talk about the Kanban style boards and how you can do that directly within Notion. Because sometimes that, productivity fatigue comes out because there are just too many productivity apps now. So let me just move some of my things here. Can I bring us up to, there we go. Perfect. Okay. So what worksheet are we creating today? Let's get H1, header 1. That's something big. This is my sample worksheet for you. What should we do? Infinitives? Perhaps? Okay. We'll do another heading, a subheading of some sort. So H3, something small. And we'll get more into the slash and the typing. There are many different types of content that you can, yes, thank you. We've got many different types of content that we can add and implement. And I'm going to show you how to do it all with the free version because, hey, free is free. So let's talk about like to. What else do we have? Want to? And let's just say, again, like to, have to. Some things that we like to do in our life. And again, making content as visual as possible. Somebody likes to shop. Someone likes to, anyone want to help me with this? We're making this together. Play football, thank you.
Eat.
Eat, yes.
Sing.
Sing, okay, we've got a good amount here. Want, thank you so much for adding a want to. So I'm just gonna use that dash, press space, and it automatically turns into a list for me. So drink coffee, yes.
Sleep. Someone wants to sleep.
Sleep.
What? In my workshop, you wanna sleep? No, I'm just kidding. Want to dance, there we go, awesome. Give me one more. Work. Ooh, there we go. A productive person. Give me some have tos.
Study.
Oh, you have to study French in particular. Okay.
Yeah, I do.
You have to leave.
Want to leave? Maybe have to work.
Okay. Some people want to work. Some people have to work. And give me one last one. I'm just for have to pray. Okay, great.
Oh.
So here are a couple of things that we can do with worksheets. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for more. Stay at home. We can add that to, why not? Ooh. Okay. So let's just say you have an answer that you'd like to reveal. Maybe you have a sample, for example. And of course, the example is not so important. So what I can do is I can change the color here. I can make it gray so that it is not emphasized like everything else. I like to play soccer, which is the same thing as football, but I just put it in here anyways. If I want to hide an answer, perhaps I want to lead with a sentence stem of some sort. Then what I can do is I'll use toggles. Toggles are really great. So I can use /T. I have to go a little bit further down. And maybe you're familiar with the toggle that we can see a little bit. We have to click on it and the rest will drop down. So I can say, I like to do this in the shower. For singing, does anyone sing in the shower? Is that just me? Sing. And we can do it like this. Of course, whichever way you like to quiz or have an informal Q&A or checking your answers, this is a great thing to use. Doesn't necessarily have to be in my particular format. So I've got that here. I'll just move that. That's one thing I love, is that it's so easy and quick to edit. Because who has time to work with Google Docs and all of the things just to format it? If I want, for example, 2 columns, well, then I'll just have to drag it right next to, oh, that didn't go well. Let me try and add a divider instead. One moment. Oh, chat box is in my way. Oh, technical difficulties. Hold on. Okay, there we go. A little hard with all these windows. Okay, back to work. We're gonna get a nice little divider here. Because that way I can drag this and make it right here. Oh, that's not how I wanted it to be. Let's try this one more time. To make my 2 columns, can I do it on this side? Almost. Get over here. I said we're gonna have 2 columns, Notion. And if I have to drag you one by one, then we're just gonna have to do it that way. Okay. And just like that, I've made 2 columns simply by dragging it and noticing where the blue lines are, and that's where it would be placed. Now, let's get some visuals, because right now this worksheet looks pretty boring, especially because we have so many great tools out there to make it a little more interactive. So once I can move our cameras, zoom. Okay, there we go. So one place I love to get all of my interactive GIFs or GIFs, whichever side that you're on. So we said somebody wants to dance. Well, then let's get some dancing. It's Black History Month. We're getting, of course. Now I've got this link. Now what am I going to do with the link is the big question. Where's my dance? Okay, cool. I'm just gonna Control V. Now I have some options. I can either create a bookmark, which is kind of a preview of a link, or I can create an embed. So I want to embed that GIF or GIF in there. And now we can see, okay, I want to dance. And now I can see the dance movement. And this is all here in Notion. You can change the size and make it as big or as small as you'd like. Well, just by dragging the sides there. All right. Then we can also do, so if I just imagine that I've done the same thing, the same process for all the other words. And then let's make some sort of a reminder, right? Maybe we want our students to have this done by a certain date, which is most of the time deadlines. So what I can do here is I can move this, oops, excuse me. Let's try this one more time. So I have lost it, but I can also, there we go. This is what I like. I can set a particular date or time for this, for me to remind my students to get this done. And of course, they'd have to share it with them. We've got a share button at the top, drop their email in, and they'll get a link. Or just like with Google Docs, you can copy a link directly to this because it's kind of like a web page that you're also creating. So pretty cool. Now, what if you want to create a separate worksheet or a whole platform of some sort? Then what I can do is I can make a new page. What are we going to make this page today? Let's make it our planner. With a bell in there, should also be in there. We've got a couple of options. One thing I do love about Notion, especially when I was a new user, was the amount of templates that they have. So we have specific templates for education. I advise you to look through those and see what you need in case you don't want to create your own from scratch, because that does take a little bit of time. But for example, let's go into lesson plans. I can just use this template, all plugged in for me, but this lesson date, I need to update this to something else, change it. Great. Add a new page. What was that worksheet we had? We had infinitives right there. We can link to that as well and create a whole new page within a page. And it's got all of our lessons right there, all of the dates, all the reminders. And if I really wanted, I could add something with checkboxes, because that way I can say, oh, that's done, I've already taught that. Oh, that's also done, I've already taught that. Okay, what other types of content do teachers need? What other types of content can I help you create? Let me just get that chat box. Where did it go? Come here. Learning French is Gina's favorite hobby.
I talk about it in many episodes.
Oh, vraiment. Okay.
Yes, because I'm always talking about how I actually use the apps that I talk about for myself. I'm not just telling my students to do it. I do it too.
Oh, sweet. Well, then, as I will do that in a second. Let me get that. And we talked about the Kanban boards. So let's create a new page here. Let's go. So I can go to boards and voila, I've got my project. What type of project? What do we need to do that has multi-dependent actions? We are going to create a chapter. I don't know. We're going to create something. We're going to put sample project here, just for convenience. And what we can do is we'll create these different cards. Similar to if you're a Trello user, it's the same thing. And if you want, you can import your board directly from Trello and it will make everything into Notion. You can assign this to different people. We can have statuses that you can create as well. And I would like to create, what's something that I'd like to, I need to finish making that worksheet. Great. Not started. That's definitely not started. I have to move it over here. If anyone's familiar with the Kanban board, if you're not, then basically it's like all of your sticky note ideas that you have to do to complete a project. And then you can organize them by where you are in the stages of completion. Not started, in progress, completed. Of course, you can always change these. And what I love to do personally, emojis everywhere. And you know what? Who needs completed? Let's say accomplished. Some more positive vocabulary there. Customize it to however you'd like to have it created. If you want certain colors to mean certain things, if you're a color coder, which I love colors as well, we can do that right about, come here. Oh, you're gonna reject me right now? Okay. So we have, let's go into some notes here. Okay, these are my notes. I have a couple of color options here. I can change the text itself into whichever color I'd like, or I can change the background, like a highlight of some sort. So if you do love using colors, that is one way, and love that as well. And what else are we doing? Actually, this worksheet is in progress. I haven't started my PowerPoint slides. Ooh. There we go. Oh, there we go. Just like that. And then, of course, when you're done, put it right there. Going back to the TTELT workshop. Again, if you don't like the position of anything, grab it, move it, just like that. Or we can put it in our to-do list. and we can click on it, access it right there. Now, these are just some basic ideas. If there's anything specific that you regularly create, I would love to show you how to do that. Just let me know in the chat what I can make for you or what I can demonstrate for you.
I'm sure they're probably typing some things that they would like to see, but is it possible, I don't know if you've talked to your students, but would it be possible to see some of the pages that you've created for some of your courses?
Oh, yes. Let me grab my charger and I will do that. And I did not expect this battery to go as low that quickly. Then we'll go into a sneak peek of what I do with my clients. So my teaching background, or what my current scope is with teaching, is I am a freelance educator, and I primarily work one-on-one with clients, and I'll help them with their personal English development needs. And so, for example, we've got, let's just say, my student in China, Jiaxin. He loves cars. He's your typical 8-year-old boy. And so what I want to do to make this, his area, his place to thrive and get the English that he specifically needs, is I will change the covers. You can always add a cover. You can always add an icon. I always have the brain personally because I use Brain Star as part of my branding. But you can add this, you can change this to whichever emoji that you like in the dozens of emojis that Apple and the tech companies have created. If you're interested in changing a cover, you can see what they've already have listed for you. Or if you've heard of Unsplash, this is a place where you can get free stock photos. You can just go type in whatever. Some people like singing, so let's just see what Sing has. Oh, perfect. Microphone. And just like that, I can change my cover. But I don't want to do that because I wouldn't want to change his original content. Control Z, redo that. I've got a highlight here. What this type of content is in Notion is called a quote. So we've got the bar to the left, and we can highlight this. I added the yellow highlight just to make it really clear that some of the files, if you exceed 5 megabytes per page, then you'd have to pay for Notion from there on. So what we do is we use something that I learned actually from Dr. Gina, was to use WeChat and send some voice messages there. So actually picked that up in grad school. We've got a place for scheduling. So for me, I've got a scheduling link. Maybe you do with Calendly, Boomerang, Acuity, the list goes on. We can do that there. Or, and this is what a link bookmark looks like. Different colored text, especially for our Zoom link, because it's so easy to lose the link. You get emails, but then you've got the marketing emails and newsletters on top of that. So just throw it in Notion. You never have to look for it again. Of course, I've got our PDFs for payments, if that is relevant to you and your experience, with homework, because I like to assign homework a lot. Just making a checklist for them so it's easy for them to know what I'm thinking and what I'm expecting of the student each week. And let's see, I've got a lot of YouTube videos here. If you want to hear more about how I use YouTube for education, I think that will be for another time, another episode, another day. One thing that I do love, especially because we can export our chats from Zoom or Google Meet or wherever you'd like. One thing I like to do is I'll copy all of the chat. Now, if you have extra time to go back to these chats, which is what I do sometimes. Where's my example? Kira, oh my goodness, where you have been slacking at work. Let me get one, come here. Much better, this is what I was expecting. So what you can do is take your already created chats with your students' direct needs and questions and simply fill it in with visual imagery, everything you said, so they can remember it for the next session. and review very quickly with visual images or GIFs, because he didn't know what a donut was last time, and now he'll never forget with pictures like this. So yes, this is just from our chats. And of course, review video. We can embed YouTube videos as well. So let me just grab something from YouTube. Everything is for the Super Bowl because that was yesterday here in the US. So if I just want to, can I just copy the link without clicking on the video? I'm going to have to click on it. Excuse me. I'm just going to grab this link. I do not care about this video. Don't play, please. Thank you. And for example's sake, if I really wanted to add this video, I've got my options again. Do I want to embed the video as we see here, where I can adjust the size to fit whatever formatting I'd like? Or do I want to just create a reminder via a bookmark, which gives us that slight preview? And there you go, for example. I'm going to quickly delete that. Speaking of which, every time you make an edit to a Notion document, the people you have shared it with will get an email of your edits. So for students who complete their homework, you'll get notified instantly. And for us who are creating worksheets and documents at 2 a.m. Or however late you stay up working, because I know you work hard, you're a teacher, we all do. Make sure that you do that separately and then drag it into the document later, unless you want your student to know that you completed their homework at, or finished making their homework at like 3 in the morning. So one side note, that's important. Let's see what else we have with Justin, because I've done a lot with him. I like to have a goals section. I like to have the chats. I make some little worksheets myself. So my sample worksheet is right here, just paying attention to an image, making that, of course, making some questions, some sentence stems for him to describe different photos and animals. And then some different letters if I wanted to do that. And yeah, just really simple, quick, drag, organize, and that's pretty much how there's my toggle there for my extra information. And that's that with what I use in action. It's just a place, again, I try and create a central hub for my students, but for those of us who have big classrooms, who need to keep track of multiple people, then I suggest getting a table. Let's put a page. And then just like Excel, if you're a native, who is Excel? A native Office user or Google Sheets, they're one and the same. But you can do that right here within Notion as well, just as a separate page. So we can change the different ways we can see this as a list, but it's pretty much the same, or as a gallery, it will be similar as well. And as a calendar might be a little bit different. I want to change this actually, if I want to show you. You can make it more of a Gantt style, where you get to see how one project leads within a certain amount of time in conjunction to the others. So let me just create that for you. 1 second. Here we go. And if you ever forget all of the shortcuts, it's right here. Oh, there we go. We've got a little preview of each of these. So I was looking for this timeline. We can do it inline or as a separate page, but just like that, I can choose what I want. This is, I want to do my worksheet and have that finished first. It is obviously not January, so let us change this to, excuse me, I would like today. Today is February. It is not changing to February. There we go. Excellent. And just like that, I can draw when I want this to be done into my calendar. Actually, it's going to take me from, not the 8th, from the 7th. I'm going to finish it at the end of this month. And what is this? This is my PowerPoint. How long does it take you to create a PowerPoint? just showing some basic things that within your whole, let's view this as a week. I've got all the things I need to do for the week. Questions so far? Have I gone too fast? I'm known to be speedy. Stop me at any time. I think we have something in the chat. Thank you very much. So far, so good. Thank you for letting me know. Just trying to show you a general overview of all of the features. And the nice thing is that you can keep them all in the same place, different pages, your notes. For example, pre-made templates. Of course, this template would be just adding new pages and organizing it however you see fit.
Kira, do you think it would be possible to maybe talk to one teacher and help them kind of set up one for one of their classes?
I'd love to. Well, let me grab this.
You want to volunteer?
Yes, volunteers. Let me see all your beautiful faces.
Who would like a Notion for their classroom?
I can send you the link and drop it in the chat when we're done.
Don't everybody rush at the same time.
Am I too scary? I'm scaring them away.
Let's see. Well, I'm gonna see who.
Let me make something for you.
Dennis, can you do you want a Notion for your class?
This can be attendance. This can be a worksheet. This can be maybe it's your class welcome page. Anything you'd like.
Hamis, how about you? Do you want to do one for your class?
Yes, we need it for our classes, but this is the first time to hear about this idea, so I am just focusing on this. Just figuring out what to do.
You
Well,
want Kira to help you create one for your class?
Yeah.
okay, what are we making together?
What
Let's
grade
see.
do you teach, Hamis?
I'm teaching grades 11 to 16. We have 5 years. 5 years of grade 1, 2, 3, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15.
That's about how many grades? We've got about 12 different grades, and you want to organize, or what can I help you make for these grades?
This distribution of the syllabus, for example, the general distribution of the syllabus per term or per year, for example, we can make this in Notion. Can we include this? Not per lesson, the whole term, just to divide the syllabus.
So you want to embed the syllabus into the page?
Just to divide it into sessions.
Okay. So create a different session?
Yes.
So the student can see all of the sessions?
For example, 5 sessions per week. So we divide what's in the syllabi according to the amount, the duration, for example.
So you want a different section for each lesson?
Yes.
And 5 per week?
5 lessons per week, yes.
That sounds fun, Kira. Go for that.
Okay. But this is just for one class.
Yes, for
correct?
one class.
Okay.
And we
Let's
do
just
the
hope
same
it's
for one grade, the whole grade. If they are, for example, we have the timetable different, but we have the syllabus for grade 11, all grade 11, and then for grade 12, same. So the whole grade, the whole stage, that's grade 1 or 2 or 3, taking the same syllabus.
Okay. So
But
you might want to
sessions.
create
Different
one
sessions.
for the grade first, like a skeleton, and then maybe copy it and
We
make
tailor it to
customize
classes.
it for each
Yes.
class, right?
Okay. So what we can do for each class, and we're going to pretend that there are how many classes for
3.
grade 11?
Three classes per grade 11.
Okay. For 3 classes. All right, so you've got some introduction paragraph for your, let's get a general syllabus, what that looks like. We can have one template. Let's see. You're gonna have to help me here as I transfer this, I'm not sure. You've got your introduction, you've got maybe
Equip
some,
students with,
yes?
yes, to equip students with just general English and technical English, how to speak English professionally, efficiently, things like this.
Oh,
Okay.
you're talking about like what the course is about? Yeah, it's general English for you
General
teach
English, it's general English.
a STEM university, right? A STEM high school, right?
Yes,
Okay.
like STEM high school.
Let's just actually turn this into, let's make this a header, right? I just want these as different things. So I'm just going to make a very, very general thing here. I'm going to say some important things here. Then I've got some do's. Beyond time, something else. And I've got some list here, etc. This would also follow the same format. And rules, perhaps. Great. Then we've got this particular syllabus. Then we want some day-to-day content, as you said. So I might need a table for this. So I'm just going to do my little, oops, I'll stop that. Slash here, type in table. And we've got a table of contents, block equation, table button. We've got a little bit of options. Scroll down to the database section. And that's where we're going to get a little bit what we want. Right here. And we're going to call this lesson topic.
And if Hamis's attendance if there's something on attendance that's online, he could put a link to that here on the page. He could just link to his attendance and embed it directly in the page, right?
Yes, and if you already have that in Google Docs and you're not looking to import that and make that into a Notion template yourself, then we can just go here and embed something from your Google Drive. So for me, it would connect with my personal Google Drive, but you can, of course, connect it to yours and insert whichever document. It's a direct link. But anyways,
Can you make certain things visible to you only and other things visible to the students and you?
unfortunately, no.
Okay. So once you embed it, it would be something that the students would have access to.
Yes.
Okay.
So if we wanted what lesson 1, we're going to call these lesson 1. And then, of course, lesson 2. Lesson 3. We might need to add a date here. And maybe if we want this to be, oh, that's what I wanted. I'm gonna delete this. Okay. New view. And just like that. Okay. When is this going to be? The 15th. Reminder, do we need a reminder? Perhaps we do. Do we have an end date? Oh, yes. Okay, great. So we've got certain dates if we need something to be done with a schedule or for a reminder. That's up to you. Then we can click on each of these and it opens up a separate page for lesson 1. And this is where, of course, we can go back to our worksheet style creation, or maybe this is just for your notes as a teacher to keep organized. And you can add whatever things and graphics you need or documents right here in lesson 1. And it's got all of your pages marked right here. maybe we've got some standards that we have to follow. So in this case, maybe this is reading W.2. And we can create and add different standards, because if you are following some standards at your school, it's nice to have those checked off as we're going throughout the year. So what other things can I add for you?
I like that you've embedded a page for each lesson so students can go back and review what you did in every class. That's great.
We don't need this count, none. But if you did need a count, you could calculate just like you would in Excel. Let's see, speaking, what is that? S.4. Let's get a date in here. We want this to.
Hamis, do you have the standards that you have to follow in Egypt? Or maybe you have specific standards.
To be frank and honest, we don't have some standards. We do it just haphazardly anyway.
Do the students have a specific exam they have to be able to pass?
Yes, they have examples. I'm just speaking not about the exam, about the standard of the fonts or things like this. I'm speaking about this. But we have exams for students to promote from year 11 to 12. They have monthly tests. They have weekly quizzes, and they have end of term and final exam. We have many types of assessment for promotion to succeed from one grade to the other.
Okay.
Sorry, I was just thinking of the standard of the fonts and the typing itself, not the.
Oh yeah, well she's talking about specific standards that students have to learn in each grade. In the US, we have specific standards that students have to reach before they're ready to. They have to be taught each of these standards in each level. And so the teachers have specific skills that they must teach in each level. And that's what she's writing about when she talks about the standards, that there's a writing standard and a reading standard and speaking standards in the US. So I was curious.
Yes, we have this. We have the criteria and the standards. The students must reach that to be promoted from one year to the other. So we have them in Egypt. They are worldwide.
Oh, thank you, Kira. I was about to tell you that someone was asking for the link. Yeah.
Okay. Just one thing with the link, it may be private. When you click on it, I might have to add your emails individually. Oh, let me see. There we go. Never mind. That was not true. Here you go. Updated. There you go.
So,
Upload.
so if you're creating this with your students, you could import the emails for your students so that the students would only have access to, only the students for this class would have access for that page, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as long as you just share it with specific group or emails.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm making it public right now, so it's completely searchable online, which is nice, because if you are trying to have this all onto a website, if you have a specific teaching website of your own, you can just embed that right there and change the font if you need to. Okay, so we've got
a public one for TTLT.
Yes. So does this help? Or are there no more things that I can add just to demonstrate for you, Hamis?
Hamis, you're muted. There we go.
This is very important and very simple.
It is powerful? I'm sorry.
Was there anything else that you would like to add?
Yes,
Are there
powerful and helpful for me.
Helpful? Okay.
Yes, we can add timetables per each, the timetable per each class.
Timetable for each class?
Yes, the timetable when to do session 1 in 11C and 11A and 11B, for example. It depends on the timing, different timing. I'm not going to teach them at the same time.
Okay.
That's good. I think it's good that you're not teaching them all at the same time.
Ooh, that'd be overwhelming. So for example, like this, maybe you want lesson 1. Let's make this a little more realistic here. We don't want an end date. We just want this to include the time. And we said that this is going to be, let's see, you're going to do this one at 1 p.m. And this one includes the blue here, just means that it's going to send you a reminder. Or you can have the option where it doesn't remind you. So in that case, if you wanted to multiply that, we can duplicate this slide. And then maybe you've got, this one happens to be at, I don't know, 3:30. And this is maybe lesson 1A. Let's rename you. Lesson 1, class B, for example's sake. We can also rename this for class A. And maybe you want to tailor each page specifically to whatever struggles that class is facing, because each bunch has different questions and different needs for sure.
Did anybody have any other questions about things that you would like to be able to do on your page, or things that you're curious about whether you can do with Notion?
Yes, I'd love to make it here live for you so you know exactly what to do and exactly how to use this awesome free tool.
Yeah. And everything is free, or is there a paid version, or what's the difference between free and paid?
So yes, especially when it comes to sharing, you can share with up to 5 people, and after that you will need to pay. Also, same thing if you have lots of images yourself that you want to embed, instead of finding it on the World Wide Web with a Google image search, then if you're embedding your own images, your own screenshots, for example, that's going to take up some space. Anything that exceeds 5 megabytes, you'll have to start a paid plan for. So we can dive into Notion / oh, gotta move the camera again. And pricing. Wow.
So I'm going to guess that you use the paid version yourself.
I do not. I'm doing all of this with the free version.
Oh, wow. So it's each page can only be shared with 5 people, or is that what you're talking about? That you, like, if you have a page, you can only share it with up to 5 people in the free version?
So if you have one of those pages with a lot of sub pages and things like that, that's all considered as one thing from the main page. Don't worry about the sub pages. Once you share the main page, all the sub pages will be shared with it. And you can do that one main page for up to, so you've got up to 5 shares of different documents or different main pages.
Okay.
But it's only 5. And I know we're working with people who have large classrooms. Oh, look, there are all the changes I've already made, if someone needs to know that. But let me try and see the Notion pricing. Why am I not finding this? Not from SAS Worthy. I want directly from Notion. Or yes. There we go. Moving on. Load a little bit faster.
We're used to being patient.
This is not the pricing for Notion. Okay.
It says it's the pricing for Notion, but it doesn't appear to be.
Can I just, well, it costs some money.
But there is a way. It looks like that there's because you can make a site public, then it wouldn't, if you're making it public, you're not giving it specifically to a student. So that wouldn't be counted as 5 people if you make it public, right?
Right. But then also all of your lessons, ideas, and that content will be shared and searchable online.
Right.
So there's that trade-off. Okay, personal is $4 a month or $5 a month, billed monthly. And these prices are subject to change, but Yes. It seems like a team is $8 a month, $10 a month, so reasonable pricing
Okay.
within the
I'm
budget.
just thinking if people wanted to have their students to have access to this without paying for it, then they would have to realize that in order for all of your students to have access to that page, you would probably have to make it public. Right?
Yes, for large
Anyone with the
classes.
link has, yeah. So
For-
then you have to be careful what you put on it as far as privacy issues for your students, as well as information you don't want the whole world to have access to. But I'm sure for the most part, it looks like only people that you give the link to would be able to see it anyway, right?
Yes.
Says anyone with the link can view.
And if you want, you can allow editing.
Oh,
Comments.
so you can have your students, you would have to decide if you want your students to edit or maybe only comment.
Yes. Oh, look at that. Search engine indexing is only for a paid account. Can I click on how much that is? Ah, yes, there we go. So this would be the next level.
Okay.
Not too bad. I hope I answered everyone's questions.
Well, I think it's good to understand the differences between free and paid and what you can and can't do.
Yes, more space. There are a couple more features, more storage, and sharing with more people. And putting it searchable online if you're trying to do that to boost some visibility for you there with SEO.
Mm-hmm. And we might be doing that.
Yeah.
But you're saying, so basically, if you are making it public, it's not searchable right now. It's only given to the people that are linking it. So if you're worried about people accessing yours, they're not going to just stumble upon it because it won't be searchable.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which is good. These are all good things. I think there's so much happening.
There's,
So do you
yeah.
have questions?
Please ask me. I love questions.
I love that there's so much in that you can keep everything clearly organized in one place and you're not trying to click on this page and that page. And you're right that with Google, you put everything in the drive, but then it can easily get lost in the drive. And here you've got one page where everything is organized and you can click out and click back. I think that's very user friendly.
Oh, yes. And I mean, design wise, it was so hard to make things look pretty with Google Docs. It took so much time and effort to get something to look decent instead of just scattered text everywhere. But with Notion, I can do this in seconds. It's saved so many hours off of my life.
I can imagine.
Especially because I have to, I personalize everything for each individual that I work with. So this is much better for me.
I can
Is
imagine.
it searchable? We can search for a topic, for a notion. They are in the same, for example, the same page, and I want a specific word or a specific just sentence. Can we just like Control F and find this?
Of course. What would you like me to find?
Yeah.
Here. How many times have I written here? So yes. But it won't search my pages that I've linked to. I'd have to click that specific page and look within that and do a Control F for that specific page.
Not the whole Notion.
No, unfortunately, no.
I'm worried about just, I want to make sure that maybe I forgot where I wrote this word and I want to search the whole template.
There we go. I made a mistake. I can search my entire Notion here. So if I've ever talked about cats, which I have with Jasheen, I have this right here from all of my documents that I have ever created with this account. And it's showing all of my pages. And it seems like, according to the search, I talk about cats quite often when I teach.
You do.
Yes. I'm learning more about myself.
About it in your episode, in your interview, we talked about cats.
Yeah. This shows that I need to get myself one.
You definitely need a cat. You like cats.
Yes, this is proven now. So
But
yes, you
I
can.
like the search feature. That's good.
Yeah, thank you. And yes, Javis, I just wanted to rewrite that. So not with Control F, because that would just search within that page. But if you go up to this area here by your, so I have multiple accounts because that's the way I'm staying free. But if you click Quick Find, then that will search everything you've ever created on Notion.
In this account.
Yeah.
Just like I did
Great.
with Cat.
Thank you for this clarification. Yes, I'm worried about this. I just thought of how to find a lesson, and instead of searching page by page or paper, one paper at a time, I want in one shot, the same like we did
Yeah.
Yeah.
recently. So, thanks.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Very
that
powerful.
can be really handy if you're like, oh, I remember in one of my classes I explained a lot about how to do this thing or what this word means, and I don't want to have to think about it again. I just want to copy it from that area. You can do that search. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, if we want, we can, well, I don't want this here on this page. I want to move it to a different page. Okay, well then just move to, and then what was that other page you want? TTELT workshop? Boom, bye, I've moved it. Okay, Control Z, bring it back. Okay. Or if you want, because maybe you want it here and there at the same time, then we'll just Command D, we'll duplicate that, then we'll move it over to the TTELT workshop. I've got both in different places. And just to prove the magic worked, it's going to be all the way at the very bottom.
Oh, so then you just move it to wherever you want it. Cool.
Yep, and just, oops, that was too hard of a click. Excuse me. Okay, there we go. And I'll just move this to here. Oh, icons. I love emojis. There we go. So yes, you can link it all together, keep it all in one place, give yourself reminders, get notifications of what has been completed and what has not. Notion's awesome.
Did anybody have any other questions?
I'm here for you. Let me know what I can do to help.
Well, if you think
Thank you for this, and I like it, the elegant layout. It's a very elegant layout. You can add images, you can organize, you can make it. The layout is very elegant, very smart.
Oh, yes, yes. Always with the emojis. I mean, this is kind of the language of the internet now. So let's see, what's an emoji I can use for a do? Something like a green check mark. Okay, and then what's a don't? I can just do this search. If you have a MacBook Pro.
Cross.
Yeah, I think an X or big. Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
And just like that. Now it's quick and easy and I don't have to read as much. And just like that.
It is fast. I like it.
It is, yeah, especially once you get to know what type of content you want to make or add. You just have that slash. If you forgot, that's okay. Just keep scrolling. Eventually you'll find it. And then when you are used to, again, there's the file that you can update. Audio if you want, if you have Spotify, your podcast episodes.
Embed TTLT into every page. Yeah.
Yes, mandatory, especially this episode. Then there are other links that you can add, other software that you can integrate with Notion. The list goes on, and if you have a Zapier, then you can do some automated things, like if you fill it into one file, then you can get that into a Google form. There are lots of things you can do with it, but that goes into automation, and that's also for another day.
Have you recorded? I noticed that Loom can be integrated in it. Have you recorded anything? Do you use Loom and embed that in, or?
Actually, I will learn Loom with you because I have never used Loom yet.
Well,
Excuse
I
me,
know that a
Dr.
lot
Gina.
of teachers do
Dr. Gina.
like answer student questions and make a little video and either email it or send the students a link somewhere. That would be interesting to connect
So
it here.
it seems like similar to YouTube where you just drop a link and you can embed the video within your Notion document. You can do the same thing with Loom.
Yeah.
Would you please permit Mr. Mohammed Wahban? Let him join. He was in the waiting room. Some electric curtain came back, but in the waiting room, please.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize we had anyone in the waiting room anymore. But yes, of course we will let Mohammed back in. I'm sorry he missed some of the workshop.
Technical issues.
Yes. Did anybody have any other questions? And Kira, if you'll let me share the screen, I'm going to share some things that are coming up with TTLT. And if you have questions for Kira, please put them in the chat while I'm showing you these slides.
Hello, Gina.
Yes.
You hear me?
Yes.
I can't hear anything. I can't hear.
Can't hear us? That's not good. Okay, so I'm sorry that you can't hear, Mohammed. I don't know how to help you. So the things coming up in for TTLT is that we have my workshops for quizzes coming up. So if you haven't watched the episode, this was our latest episode was on quizzes. And so if you haven't watched the episode yet, then I encourage you to watch the episode, and then we'll be doing the workshop on February 18th, Thursday the 18th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then Friday the 19th at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please choose the one that is best for you. If one of them is at, say, 3 a.m., maybe choose the other one so that you don't have to participate at 3 a.m. And if neither of these are good times for you, please let me know so that in the future we can maybe make some adjustments so that it's easier for you to attend, because we would love for you to be able to attend our workshops. And Eileen is going to be leading a workshop talking about music. So if you haven't watched her episode yet, I encourage you to watch that episode. She's going to go into a lot more detail in some of the ideas that she talked about in her episode. So she's going to be doing that on Friday, February 26th at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we're going to be doing our second TTLT Talks. And I see that some of you were at our first TTLT Talks, which is awesome. And we really appreciated all the information that you gave us and everything that we talked about. So we're going to be talking about many of the issues that you said you wanted to talk about. We're going to be talking about those in this TTLT Talks, which is going to be on Saturday, February 27th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, let us know if this is at a time that would be really bad for you to come at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let us know. We might try to make some adjustments in the TTLT Talks in the future, because we want everyone to be able to participate. And we also have on March 12th, we have Daniela, and Daniela is actually going to be either this week's, I think she's this week's episode or next week's episode. I can't remember. She's one of the two. And she's going to be talking about integrating technology with you when you have limited resources. And I know for a lot of you, that's an issue that you deal with on a daily basis. So I think that this might be a really useful workshop for us to attend. She's going to talk about how she's overcome some of those obstacles on Friday, March 12th at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And she's in Albania, so it'll be 10 o'clock for her. So I'm sure she'll still be wide awake though. And then Amy's coming back for another workshop. Do you remember? I think some of you were at her Story Stitch event. So we're going to be doing another workshop with Amy. She's going to be doing one on intercultural communications on April 6th at 2 p.m. GMT, which will be 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 8 a.m. for her. So 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and 2 p.m. GMT. And as I have told you recently, we're really excited because now we are officially a 501c3 foundation, which means we're an official nonprofit. So anytime people donate, we can give them a tax break. So they can get, it can be a tax write-off for them, which is excellent. So if you or any sponsors that you know or organizations that you know are looking for an excellent organization to fund and to give money to donate to, I think you should recommend us, right? So, and the best ways to donate, well, all of these are on you can click the donate button at ttlt.org, or you can go directly to our Patreon account, our GoFundMe account, or our PayPal account. So we have lots of ways for you to donate, and we appreciate any money we get because we need it. Okay, and there we go. And if you would like to learn more about about TTLT and get more involved, if you haven't already gone to our website or subscribed to our podcast or our YouTube channel or joined our Facebook group or followed us on Twitter or Instagram, then please do all of those things, because all of those things will help you stay involved in TTLT. And of course, share all of these with your colleagues and friends so that they can get involved in TTLT, right? Oops, I hit the wrong button. I'll be right back to tell you more. I know, but